Buenas tardes. I just wanted to do a video recording in breve. I wanted to do just a brief topical conversational quote conversations like this. So I've heard individuals speak about the depths of your resonances in terms of the estrangements that they interiorly quote resonated end quote with these deep ear resonances. That's my words, my wordings, my wording. So my story goes to this. So I'm going to try to keep, again, I'm going to try to keep this kind of focused here. I think when I was about 15 years old, it kind of began to feel like I was getting more into, I was kind of focused on my schoolwork, no? I was kind of focused on, like my schoolwork was, I was more focused on that versus what the blank was doing. Cramley individuals were doing, okay? And then, of course, getting a part-time job at age 16, I'm kind of eating meals on my own. I'm going to school. I'm going immediately to work. I'm coming back home. I'm doing homework for about roughly 60 minutes. I'm going to bed. No time for television. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Here we go. No time for television. So I'm doing homework for about 60 minutes, going directly to bed. No time for television. Okay. Let's keep moving forward very quickly. The resonance is increased. The quote resonance, unquote, with the depth of a resonance is putting it too mildly. My part-time job continues. I go to Costa Rica in 1995 for a period of 4 weeks. It felt like the greatest moments of my entire existence up to that moment. Pretty much still is right in there, right up there. It's right up there with the best of my entire existence. I've been in this planet for 46.65 years, something like that. Let's go with 46.65 years, even though I'm not into precision calculations mathematically. So I'm in this planet for roughly 46.65 years, to somewhere in there. Of which I recall about 41.65 of those years. It took me until about age 5 until I had a full, I would call a conscious awareness of like, oh, I see my hand like this, like in a movie. Someone looks at their hand like, I mean, I was aware of my surroundings. I consider it like I woke up in a movie theater watching E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I remember getting really freaked out where Elliot is approaching that gated area and suddenly it's like, the little alien screams, and Elliot, and it's, and I was in my seat, whoa, like, in the movie theater we were kind of like, whoa, like your body literally juts backward, like, because it's back in 1982 they made at least a few movies where there was like sudden loud noises. Okay, so that was uncomfortable. I remember there's a moment in The Dark Crystal in 1982 that's similar. Blame it all on the fizz gig. It's like in 1982. So why were there movies in 1992 where there's like shrieking? Okay. It occurs to me there's an underpinnings, at least of a quote underpinnings and quote for every quote thing in quote cartoonist. I was abused. I was abused by the vecino, the chico del vecindario, the vecino. Sexually abused. I was abused by somebody else, and múltiples veces by the vecino chico. Okay. That I'm pretty much entirely certain had also been abused. So what of this theory of dirtiness? Testicular and non-testicular genital dirtiness that is going to be a quasi or some type of an attraction, quote unquote, to someone else that's been abused. Cartoonishly. Well, let's just say that the blank Cramley individuals maintain their, quote, lealtades, end quote. That means their loyalties to their, quote, stories, end quote, nor their, quote, actual, end quote, stories. That nothing ever happened. Nothing. Nothing happened in there. Even though El médico Señor Opitz liked to refer to my recto, muchísimas veces en el periodo, en espacio de como 15 minutos. I'm pretty sure the term recto in español, in inglés, rectum, I brought up a few times in a single session of 50 minutes. 15 minutes. Did they think I was stupido? How about these dimwits that like to spell words out loud to a child that wins spelling bees every couple years? I was winning spelling bees and I still have people going, I said he kicked him in the AS. Do I have to spell every word? I'm like, you think I can't read lip? No, you think I can't spell words? It'd be like trying to mouth words in front of a person that's hearing impaired. They can read lips, oftentimes, but I could also spell words by the age of 5.5. They didn't have to spell it a word. I didn't have to hear it spelled. I knew I could piece together those letras. You know, like, how dim-witted do you, quote, think, unquote, that I quote am? Or should I say, how dim-witted do you, quote, think, unquote, that, quote, I, end quote, quote, am, end quote, that, in other words, you don't know me. You don't know me, and you don't know me, like that cancioncita, you don't know me. You don't know how intelligente I already am, and I always have been. So that you think you can pull the cartoonist wall over my cartoonist eyeballs. You got another thing, cue Judas Priest, please, someone. You got another thing, cue Judas Priest. Somebody, please. You got another thing coming, you know. Because I'm not a dimwit. Stop lying to yourself and then to me second, or the opposite. Stop lying to me. Alex, I'll take corrosions of the soulful fibers for 5 cents. Go. I'd say, Alex, if you think it's worth it, I'm gonna debate you on that. If you think it's worth 5 cents, I disagree. I am convinced it's not worth a nickel. Even if that nickel were made of copper and gold plated, it's not worth it. I gotta tell you, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I deeply, deeply resonate with the quote resonances that it ever was. So, let's get to the heart of the matter. Just kidding, I don't know, I think it's too late for them. Let's get the heart of the matter for moi, pour moi. The heart of the matter pour moi goes así, it goes like this. I was abused sexualmente repetidas veces. Okay, there was something about my body that was uniquely provocativo of curiosidades of all ages. My infant buttock might have been provocativo of more than a bit of curiosities. But we have individuals playing their cards completely wronged. Let's go back to my topic. Let's go back. Let's sideburn all that and go. So by the age of 15 and a half or younger, 15 and a half or younger, 16 years old, I got a part-time job. I'm never eating meals at home, basically. I'm always at work. I'm at work. When I'm not at school, I'm at work. When I'm not at work, I'm at school. By 17 years old, I was on a 4-week vacaciones de estudios, en el extranjero. Things will never be the same. I heard that song going in my head by Roxette or whoever's in. And things never were. I said that's when the depth of the resonances grew like a chasm. A chasmic depth became a chasmic depth. Then I went to college, came back. I had rough sledding in Minnesota because I was deeply, deeply depressed, No kidding. I don't have anybody I can relate to at all. I related more to my fraternidades bros, my fraternidade amigos. I related to them more than anybody ever in my familia ever. But it still wasn't enough. There was something missing. Something I felt like, I don't know, I felt like I was being lied to by these idiots. These cartoonist idiots. I felt I was being, it's not funny. I felt I was being lied to. Let's add thick layers. Retrospecto. I felt that I was being lied to, which I was. Still am, actually. Except that I don't listen anymore. I go, I don't listen. You know, I just go, I don't listen. So let's go back to this recording topic. I said there's individuals that say they were in states of residence. They were in depths of residences themselves. They call them estrangements. I call them depths of residences. That palabrita, estrangements, is not suficientemente profundísimo. Suficientemente. No. No suficientemente profundísimo. No. Estrangements is like talking about coffee cake when you want to be talking about something much more non-deliciously horrific. Something much more chasmic. Something much more than a depth of residences. More than that. So, college, had a bad semester, had another bad semester, came back. The depth of residences, the chasm became a ravine. A cartoon ravine of cartoon ravines. There was nothing relatable about these individuals. Nothing relatable about these individuals at all. Costa Rica was the beginning of the end. This was the end. This was the donest. Costa Rica came back. I was done. I said, I don't relate to this. The individuals I knew for 4 weeks in Costa Rica are more relatable. We're more relatable within 5 minutes to 5 days. To 5 days! 5 minutes to 5 days, I was having conversations after dinner. I said, no, is this how other people do it? You have a conversation after you eat a meal. You have a meal and then you have a conversation about the day and about your entire world view as the world views turn around and around and like a 360 espejo around the Señor Anderson Cooper. La cabeza de Anderson Cooper. I said, is this how it's done? So why does the USA get everything wrong? Well, not everybody, but yeah, a lot of people get, a lot of people get it wrong. Because they don't spend time with their niños. Having conversaciones with la cena. Sin cigarrillo es muy caro. Cigarrillo es muy opcional. You don't have to have a cigarette after dinner, but you have to have a conversation with your family during dinner and after dinner and whatever. It's easier to have a conversation after dinner, is it not? When you're eating dinner, it's kind of like you want to be eating dinner. Not going, yeah, it's cool, yeah, my coursework's going great, yeah. In fact, in about 5 minutes from done with this, I'm going to race upstairs and finish my homework, yeah. Because I got a backpack that's about this full tonight. Last night I was like this, tonight's like this. I think I got every subject in school represented here in my backpack. Every grade, every coursework assignment is represented in every course. It was like a non-stop weightiness, like a non-Milwaukee weightiness. Who knows what that means? All right, let's be quiet. Let's keep moving forward. There was like a non-Milwaukee weightiness. So it's like, I don't know, does anyone know what that means? Does anybody know what that means? I don't know. Let's keep moving forward. Okay. So I was a this backpack was like Montezuma's non-revenge. It was like, and I was pretending to be like into it. Like, I mean, it's like some people are into like vodka and tonic. I was trying to study I was studying as if my existence depended on it. It didn't, but I pretended it did. It did. And then, so what could have been a music career starting with a music escuela or a banda de rock que yo hubiera estado el cantante. Music school, acting school. What about acting school? Maybe Juilliard would like to take my assignments home. I mean, take my applications to their office and read them in their due just time. I don't know. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know, so I went to Grandier. A Grandier. Who knows what that means? A Grandier. I went to the University of Minnesota. I went to the University of Minnesota. I went to the University of Minnesota. I went to the University of Minnesota, and I had my pom-poms, and it was great. So I go there for their orientation, and it's like, everybody's going to put on a show. It's like, oh my goodness, you thought Six Flags would be fun. Wait till you get here, and then the show's over, and now you're on your own. They had Panda Express catered. They had a panda bear dancing a jig, and they were singing the hustle. Attempts were deliberately inflicted to make us believe we were getting the best of the creme de la creme de la crop. That was the school that, forget parochial, Marquette, private schools, oh God, tell Stanford we send our sympathies. This was the squela to end all squela buildings in the history of the universe. They're going to put on a show and act like everything's great, and as soon as the lights dim, it's back to, well, you know, you're pretty much on your own in this school. We have to warn you, that was all just for the shits and giggles. It's really nothing like that. That's our cartoon, shits and giggles. It's nothing like that. When the rubber hits the pavimento, if it ever does, your adult child is going to have to work for a living. Okay, we all know we have to work for a living. Your adult child's going to have to work for a living. You know what I mean? He's going to have to sling hay. He's going to have to do something physical. Get physical. Let's break out the español. You know, like. It was all a hoax. It was a ruse to get you to enlist on that tug-of-war rope, that cartoon rope of non-ropes. It's the non-parochial buildings ruse. Let's call it the non-parochial buildings ruse. Madison had a different approach. They said, what coursework would you like to be witness to, be prescient to? I said, how about foreign language? I'm not picky. French, Spanish, German, Portuguese. I'd prefer Spanish. What class did I get at Madison when I went to tour? When I went for a tour of the school buildings. Very good. Art history, yes. I heard someone say geology. You were close. Art history, no, not really, but art history. Yeah, that was as close to foreign language as they could muster. I said Español preferido. Español preferido meant Francés. I could do a German, Deutsch. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? No, I did not sprechen Sie art history studies. By the way, who wants to study the history of art that we could be doing it yourself? Go to an art school, it's much more enjoyable. You will ignite your creative spark if it's not already been ignited, if it hasn't been stamped out, more to the point. Caballeros, damas, caballeros y damas, caballeros y caballeras. We have non-parochial buildings stamping out the light. Do not go gentle and good night, but they are stamping out the light. The cartoon ignitions are not ignited. If anything, they're stamped out by quinto grado, by 5th grade. They're going to go, it's like a Michael Jackson video, non-amusing, non-fun, non-excitingness, non-orientedness, of orientedness, quote unquote. They're not oriented towards the sun, they need a compass in the soul. Okay, here we go. Caballeros, they need a compás en el alma. They need everything. They need their creative spark ignited like an ignition stick. They need a creative spark of fire. They need a creative, imaginative energies flowing up through the cerebral spinal cord, through the cerebral cortex, into the cerebellum. It needs to be ignited right immediately now. So for seagulls, present momently, we have individuals going, taking school studies seriously to become a donut driver. Okay, that doesn't really help. How about taking school studies seriously to become a basketball coach? Or how about an NBA professional basketballista? Do you hear people saying how valuable their geography course and their biology course and their mathematics course and their English literature course was really valuable, muy valioso, muy valuable, muy importante a mi carrera de botar una pelota corto. I mean, al cancha, whatever. I should know. I tried to have a maestría de la lengua en my own, so I could be an interpreter of my own. So they're rebotando la bola a la cancha. Okay, but I don't know how valuable it is to go to college and do all that stuff and minor in this and that and the major in that and then the thing, whatever. Because we are under the presumición. We are under the presumición. I'm gonna make up words. We're under the presumición. Who knows what that means? All right, fine. Let's moving on. We are under the presumición that educación es todo, is everything. And we know that athleticism and educación are tied up like a tiny little mushroom kit. No, like a tiny little twist tie of coppers on fire. Copper wires on fire for 10 cents, Alex. That might be worth something more. Somehow, la educación is completely tied up and wrapped up with the athleticisms. Where you will learn disciplineness. Discipline and disciplineness of disciplinenesses. If you are muy afortunado, well, no, that's very good. That's very good. Disciplineness of disciplinenesses is muy importante, no? I would recommend even a military discipline of disciplineness of disciplinenesses if you can possibly muster it. If you can non-colonel muster it, I would say muster it. I would say go for it. Have a military discipline of disciplinenesses of disciplinenesses. Really, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. I would say that is what I would say. Athleticism is more valuable than education, because you will learn more from discipline of disciplinenesses than you ever will from some guy going. Turn to chapter 4, page 411, please! You know. Talk about how calm I feel when I'm doing this all day long, and I'm looking at all you youngsters looking more athletic than I'm feeling. And I get a little turned on. I'm getting a little turned on, you know, this Zach looks like he's been lifting weights, and I think he's going tanning too. Or he's been to the beach recently, or he's got like one of those frost bites that looks like a tan. It's kind of turned me. Zach, are you 18? Class laughs. Major movie scene. A movie scene. Zach, are you 18 yet? Class laughs. I know. As he's talking about, I know I don't have a chance. Zach, I know I don't have a chance. Just take it easy. Take it easy on me. Nobody report me to Principal Wiggins or whatever that movie. Nobody report me to Principal Wiggins or whatever the name of that one. I think John Cusack was the principal, or was the assistant. And both. I think each one individually in their own freedom of choice. The point is this: everyone has their freedom of choice, but you know the thing is, there's so much sexual endocrine chemicals flowing through the bloodstreams of these young hombres and young non-hombres. There's so much testosterone. It's unbelievable. Es increíble. Es unbelievable. Es increíble. Ándale arriba. Let's get to a make-out, breakout sessional room, non-Jeff, unless the guy you want to date and have sex with is Jeff. But, you know, or just like make-out. The thing is, it goes like this. These instructors may not be that young, sometimes they are, but they still have sex drives, too. And although thinking about Zach's muscles might inspire his performance with his wife in the bedroom, I don't know that it's really going to fulfill anything deeply in terms of... I'd like to end this recording with that. Is it really going to fulfill at the deepest levels? Thinking about Zach's bicep veins. I don't know. I'm making all this up for fun. I think I have a deeper point here. As I know for sure I do. No, I know for sure. I said it incorrectly. I know for sure I do. Zach, Justin, or how about Tyler is looking a little more tall every semester. Let's go semester instead of year. Tyler is looking athletically fit, and apparently they're allowing these young hombres to wear shorts at school. As you started, is this allowable? Is this allowed? Are they allowed to wear shorts? Come on. Am I supposed to? How do I concentrate how am I supposed to focus as the instructor teaching this class? So much sexual flotsam and jetsam, flotsam and jetsam. There's so much endocrine pheromones spitting out at my genitals, I can't focus. All right, have a good night. No, let's go back to this. I'm going to finish up with what I started. So, consider all that a side burner of flaming flames of fires. Let's go back to the topical topic I began with this recording with. Okay. This goes back to square. Let's go down here, that boy. Let's go back to the topical topic I began this recording with. Okay, so I said, when you are going, when you have a depth of your resonances with the individuals in thy midst, it might be your squela building, but there's a little bit more variety happening there. We hope it's happening more than it is with some people's immediate very, quote, close, end quote, familias, quote unquote, because, you know, the thing is, there are estrangements, and, you know, I wanted to deal with this cosmic depth of irresonances that I felt at every level of non-levels. It grew in a deepening, ever-wideningness of deepeningnesses. I said to myself, this has to be a hoax. This has to be a hoax. This has to be a hoax. There has to be intelligence and relatability somewhere in the world. I went to Costa Rica. The ravine. No, that was the cosmic chasm. College began the deepening, ever deepenings of ravines. I came back after a year of having failed due to my overzealousness of taking too many courses at one time. Anybody? Show of hands. Whoever took too many courses at one time and you're like, well, I'm a little bit stressed out. Just take 9 credits or 12. Be done with it. Just take 9 to 12 credits. Take the 5 to 6 year plan and be done. Right? I say take the 5 to 6 year plan and be done. Right? Take 9 credits if it'll allow you to work a part-time job and pretend have a reason to want to go back to that lame cartoon edificio building, where everything is dry as static dust, and don't tell me I'm wrong because I know for sure I'm correct. That's it. I have an alternate recording where I go into grave cartoon details regarding that genericness, that dry dental dust to be more cultural. I stated that as intentional. But that no one has the language to even say, wow, it is really cultureless in this way. It is really dry as dental static. I mean, even that would be more than the language I had at that time in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. I didn't have the language to say, wow, this place is really sterile. Who has the language at age 15, 16, or 17 say, this building has really gotten sterile since we graduated junior high. Junior high school was okay. This place is sterile. It is sterility, corporate. It is sterility. This place is dry as austerity on steroids of nonsense. There is nothing happening here in the way of culture. There is nothing happening here in the way of moisturization. This place is dry as static and dry as a cartoon speck of black cartoon dust from hell. Buenas tardes.